I'm going to talk about one of the most, I think if one would ask me which one is the most difficult thing on the bass, you would be surprised probably on my answer, because I think the most difficult thing on the bass is to make a string, a low string especially, to start in a precise moment when you put the bow on the string with no accent in piano and pianissimo. And so nothing to, you would expect probably I said, I don't know, tarantella di bottino, or something like that, or something very fast. Yeah, that are difficult, this is type of difficult, but the most difficult thing, you know, is the, I know it's very low, you see what I mean? That I put the bow down, and you don't know how many times in orchestra we have got, especially when you play opera, very many times we so you see what I mean? When I move the bow, the note should start straight away with no accent, no, just a nice sound, and that looks, I mean, something, it looks so obvious, but actually it's not, because it depends. In that case, if I leave the weight of the bow on string, will already be too loud. You see, that's the weight of the bow. So in some way that's complicated but easier, because I'm being helped by the bow. If I go lower down in dynamic, in some way I'm releasing weight. So I'm all in the hands of this structure of the body. Ecco. Or even if we make a long pianissimo note. And many times what happens, that often in orchestra conductors, they think the basses are late. I don't think so much. That's not always true. I think what often happens is that you get this type of emission. So let's suppose I have to make an attack of a Verdi aria in an opera. So you see what I mean? If the sound doesn't start here and here, what the conductor will hear in the public is a sound that is, when I start playing, it arrives late. The highest point of the dynamic is a little afterwards I play. So the result will be, it will be late. And they'll ask us to play earlier, but we are actually playing, but the sound doesn't come out. So it's terribly important that the sound is already full sound. E allora we'll do our job, because our main job in the orchestra is to give the downbeat. How, like the viola, often they give the second beat or the fourth. We give the first and the third, you know what I mean? So, in fact, one of the exceptions that we always ask in competition is the beginning of the scherzo of the Fifth Beethoven Symphony, because, well, not so much, yeah, also for, yes, but so much for this. You see, it's not at all obvious that this will start, because if one knows how to make this string start, means it has got a very good control of the bow. I mean, it sounds like an extremely simple thing, but actually it's not. And another thing I would like to talk about, how we attack, you know, the moment of the attack, you know. So this was in pianissimo. But there is also a problem when we find forte. Many times forte becomes also like an accent. So, well, that's accent, but it's not accent. So when we got a forte with no accent, the bow speed should be fairly slow. But often the two things, they get connected together in some players. So I had students in which I had to spend some time to say, well, when you play forte, don't rush, don't go too fast with the bow at the beginning of the note, otherwise it will result in an accent. And so we want a forte with no accent and a forte with accent. So no accent, accent, no accent. You see, it's a question of speed, but that makes a big difference because, as we said, as with Tom this morning, everything we do in orchestra especially gets multiplied by the number of players. So if an accent that I do by myself, it can be not too upsetting. But if all the section makes an accent where it shouldn't be done, the result will be not nice at all, not respectful of what we are playing. So that was one thing.